Morning, everybody. This is Z32 Garage. Just so you guys know, just woke up in the morning, hence the awesome bedhead. Early morning video, for me anyway. I don't know when I'm going to upload it or post it for you guys. As like last time, this is part, say, 21 of 120, not sure exactly. Working on the project Parts Car Z32. I am going to be removing the rear tail lights and back panel, which I've already done a good chunk of, getting the nuts that hold that on and the glue. They're glued in, so you have to pry them open, but you gotta make sure you have all of the glue out of the way, which there are already other videos of this. I'm just documenting what I'm doing on mine. The other thing is I'm taking out is the wiring loom that goes off the back, just because I'm scavenging all that stuff off this vehicle. Let me take you to the trip to the back side here. Let's see if I can get this rotated, and then we'll show you what's going on. All right, everybody. I know it's not a great view, but this is what I got to work with. Underneath here, hopefully you can see my hand. There are nuts. You got to go through each one of these. They're all over the place. This is for the center panel and for the two side lights. Hopefully you can see my hand. In this area, I am at the moment taking the releases off back here. One is for the trunk lid actuator, and I think the other one is for the, I am thinking it's for the fuel door. I could be wrong. It's either that or it was part of the mechanical top. Not sure. I've already removed one of them. They look like this. Haven't traced the cable to go all the way back. Going all the way through. So that's what today is all about, is doing that type of work. Let's see if I can get you moved back so you can see me while I'm working. Alright, let's show this again. Sorry for not showing you guys everything. And sorry for talking on the back. Here, let's move the camera down so you're not getting lights, guys. That seems like that'd be a bad idea. Alright. Got the tail lights out. They are, let's see here a second. I got the tail lights out. Not super difficult. Start with the center panel. There are 3 bolts or 3 nuts that captively hold this in on it, and then there is actually, and this is kind of difficult, let me fix the camera so you can see, is a plastic, I would say inside, you have to pinch it to pull it out, and it's the center of the panel to get it to come out. It is replaceable. You can redo it each time if you need to. This center panel, other than a scratch, is actually pretty good. I will probably hang on to it for myself. I'm not sure exactly. That being said, the next one I pulled out was the bad side. And these are held in, once again, this has got 4 nuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, various sizes. But the big thing is, I don't know why they did this. Maybe it's for rattling, sealing from dust. I'm assuming from sealing from dust, to be honest with you, which makes way more sense. But I wish I would have used a rubber gasket instead of glue. It's this stuff here, and this stuff is nasty all the way around. You have to pry gently till it finally releases. Thankfully, it's been 90 plus degrees in my garage. So this stuff's been baked quite a bit. I was able to pull on out and do it. Unfortunately, this one cannot be saved. It is pretty well scuffed up, but I'll probably sell it for anyone who needs a replacement, whether they don't care about it or not, because I got a damaged one. This one's got a lot of just, I would say, star scratches on it. I'm not sure exactly what happened to it, but I won't need it. I may hang on to it, but I'm fairly sure I'll probably end up selling this. So if you guys want it, let me know, hit me up in the comments. I'm not sure what these run for at the moment, at the time. So this was this one. And then the last one I pulled out, which is the exact same as the opposite side. This was the passenger side, same one, same glue setup. This one actually is in good shape. It's got some minor scratches, which could probably be buffed out if you know what you're doing with plastics. And I may do if I can find another one that's in clean shape, attempt my hand at what everyone else has already done, try to make the 99 JDM tail lights because I think they actually look pretty sharp. That's just my take on it. They don't quite look as dated as these. Personal opinion. Some people love these, people don't. Not sure. I mean, that's everyone else's take. Give you an update too. Since last time, I did sell some parts off the car. Parts Z. Had a gentleman from in-state here needed some parts. Sold the front brake calipers, which were the aluminum, I want to say 34 millimeters. I'm not sure. I have to look that up on Wiki Z32. If you don't know that, I'll put a link to those guys in the description below. Great website. It's now being hosted by Concept Z Performance. Great guys. I bought in parts from them. I bought in parts from Z1 too. So they just host a website now, which is very informative. If you want to learn anything about Z32s, 300ZXs of this generation, that is where to go for your quick resource. Dive into it. They give some great information there. The other thing I've sold off it, it was here, he wanted the rotors. So I sold him the rotors because I didn't need them. I thought they weren't savable, but hey, he wanted them, so I sold him to those. When he was here also too, my other convertible I got, I manual swapped that. During that time I also did the clutch fork upgrade, which was done just because while I'm in there, when I was putting it in, why not do that stuff when I was putting everything in. That being said, I still have the OEM one that I wasn't using. Just in a tub, sitting there as a spare, just in case something went wildly wrong, thought hang on to it. Well, he informed me his vehicle had an issue, and he had a busted clutch fork. I asked him if he still had it, I'm like, did you want a new one? Or want something first? He's like, yeah, I'm like, I got a solution for you, I really don't need this. So I gave him that, and then I learned something very important. He needed it because we're getting his car running, and he's a local guy, so I was willing to help him out quite a bit. I didn't realize, and this is something for you guys' information as well, that the ABS sensors, specifically the driver and passenger fronts, are really expensive. At least new anyway. Looks like if you do on eBay, you can get them down there pretty cheap. But from like Nissan, they want $1,000 to $800. It's something insane. New stuff on eBay, or at least stuff that presents new, they want $400 to $500. So I'm not wrecking it for anybody. I'm just letting you know, before you scrap one of these, pull the ABS sensors out. At least they should sell on eBay for less than that as unusable. The problem with mine is my passenger side clip broke. I didn't realize it was a problem. I ended up snipping it off just because everything was being a pain in the ass, not realizing what I was doing at the time, which is my bad. But hey, I didn't realize those were worth as much as they were, which is amazing. It's unusual to see certain parts like that. From what I understand, the ABS sensors on these cars were only used during this time for these cars and nothing beforehand and nothing after. So hence why, and each side is unique to each side. Even the rears are different from what I've been read or told. So those are quite different as well. I'm hoping everyone can hear me well. I'm just using the mic on my cell phone on this. If you guys have any more questions, hit me up in the comments. If someone wants that driver's side tail light, hit me up. I'll maybe work something before I put it on Facebook trade groups. Yeah, I wish I could have showed you guys more. I just don't have the camera set up for that stuff yet, but that's why I try to explain it to you. I have a lot of stuff through it. Still removing more parts. I'll probably remove more tomorrow. Just having to work my way through it. In fact, I am inching closer and closer to working on the interior. I may try to remove the bumper yet. I don't know where it's positioned against the back wall here. Just is not the most, it's not the easiest to work in. So I may remove all the ABS sensors now that I know they're worth something. Actually, every part should be worth something. I shouldn't say that. That they're worth a lot more than I thought they should have been. Because I wouldn't have thought this stuff would have been bespoke, but that was Nissan in the 90s that was doing that. It's just you'll find out lots of stuff like this that you just wish they would have just parts bend it and made it, at least parts bend it to the self-its car. Like it, probably another good example, between the NA and the TT, they have different, and I'm not joking here, radiators and radiator shrouds. Well, they had to do that because they needed the room for the turbo piping and cooling, which is cool. But if you were going to turbocharge the car from the get-go, and we're working on it, why not make it so you didn't have to have two radiator shrouds, two of everything because of the making the room? I am fairly sure, if I'm looking into this deep enough, there is a different rerouting for the power steering. There is a different rerouting. Sorry about that. Looks like the camera did a little weird focus, which my previous video had. I apologize, everyone. Once again, my camera is being not nice to me about this. There's some other stuff to get around the turbo intercooling, which would work fine on an NA, but they didn't do that. So now you got two parts you got to deal with, and two things. If you want to turbocharge it, swap on over it. To me, it doesn't make sense that they did this in that aspect. You know, it's also there's so many little weird things like that. It just drives you bonkers, in my opinion. I mean, little things you can persuade them. Another good example would be AC lines the same way. That's another pain in the butt, because I'm going to be, when I TT my car, will be the exact same issue. Currently, it's an NA R12, just so you know. A 93 convertibles are still R12 because they're built in 92, whichever they were still using R12. That being said, the condenser up front is the width of the radiator. Put a TT in there, you got to go to a smaller one. In fact, you have to change out a couple O-rings, oil, because just the new stuff doesn't want to work with it. But you have to change out the stuff and the dryer to get the room for the piping. If they just would have made it the same and just put the NA in it, they would have saved money. They would have saved money and made more profit for themselves. I didn't know if they had the engineering, didn't have the engineering done at the time, or what the issues were. And I know this is all hindsight 25 years later. It's just you don't understand that that's some of the weird nuances. Another one is drive shaft links, which there are plenty. If you dive through it, you'll have a difference one for, you have one length for 2 plus 0 and 2 plus 2, which makes sense because the 2 plus 2 is 6 inches longer. So you need more tail shaft to get to getting to the rear end. Perfectly okay. Then you have differences between NA and TT, which have different rear subframes because they have different differentials. Not different gear sets, different differentials, and they have different inputs. The connector on the end of the NA is only 4 volts, which holds lots of power. Lots of drag racers use them. Lots of guys actually swap their TTs to the NA subframe to get the better ratio gear, to get that from the 369, I think it is, to the 410s. That is something that happens all the time. So, okay, you have that's variable. Here's more. You have a different transmission length, that length, but different yokes and links because of manual and automatics. Now, the one thing it is nice, the automatic transmissions and the manuals, mind you, between the TT and the NA are exactly the same. The internals are the same. Well, I shouldn't say that. The manual internals are the same. The bell housing is different, that you'll have to grind down if you were to put an NA transmission on a turbo car, because the clutch and flywheel are slightly bigger. They won't be able to fit inside the housing. The exterior is the same, basically, but the interior, there's some humps you'd have to grind and put in. The automatic transmission is different because of they're slightly different. They handle the more power. And for the people who are new to this platform, the power rating on the automatic NA to the automatic TT, the automatic manual, is different because they had different turbos and power was delivered differently. So therefore, the automatics were down 20 horsepower. And that was done, from what I can read and see, to save the transmissions. Not that those transmissions can't be built and be done well, it's just at the time, in the 90s, they didn't want to be shelling transmissions with over 300 horsepower and the torque being pushed through them. Because everyone knows manuals can be a little bit more verbose, and they're definitely more simplistic than an automatic. Sorry, I digress from everything I was talking about. A little history lesson for everyone, if they even care. So I got the tail lights out. Tomorrow Hey everyone, it's 6:45 in the morning. My alarm went off. That's annoying as to be. Go back to this quick update. What I'll end up doing is working on ABS sensors anything at the back end, I might need various other stuff in that aspect. Yeah, I guess I'll keep you guys informed. I'll do another video tomorrow or whenever I'm working on it. Try to keep you guys updated. I know these are kind of short, kind of long, in between. Thanks for your guys' time, and stick to the channel. Maybe I'll show you something you want, or hit me in the comments and say, hey, I want to know this. And maybe I can make it work for you guys. All right, thanks.